Hi, a major new movie that I've just seen is Wonka, Paul King's adaptation of the story of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, but looking back at its past and the origins of that mysterious mogul of confectionery. It stars Timothée Chalamet as the young Willy Wonka, arriving in the big city for the first time to share his chocolate skills with the world, but is almost immediately captured by an evil laundry mistress who ensnares him into a lifetime of servitude. Helped by his fellow captives, and nevertheless opposed by the three chocolate magnates who run the town, he tries to share his gifts with the world, free them from captivity, and found his chocolate empire. I loved it. Paul King directed the two Paddington movies, which I adored, and I was very much hoping for more of the same here. I know a lot of people were skeptical about the idea of a musical young Willy Wonka story, but as soon as I knew that King was doing it, and particularly that Neil Hannon was writing the songs, I knew this would be okay, and it's terrific. Chalamet is not the kind of actor I would have associated with a role like this. He's seemingly done nothing like it before. He generally plays quite serious, brooding characters, but his Wonka is a delight. A very positive, upbeat, can-do character. Chalamet shows off his talent in singing and dancing. This is a proper old-school musical. There's scenes that reminded me of Oliver, with ranks of dancers all performing towards the camera. There's a terrific supporting cast of most of the people who are in the Paddington movies, half the cast of the TV series Ghosts. Olivia Colman, Tom Davis, uh, Jim Carter, Paterson Joseph, Hugh Grant, Matt Lucas, a vast array of British comic talent, even in minor roles, people like Issy Sooty or Phil Wang. It's a pleasure to see them in a major movie production like this. Um, but the film is also incredibly sincere, and I think that's what makes it really work. That the Paddington films, their pleasure was that they took themselves seriously. That although they were comedies, although they were very light-hearted, there was a sincerity and a heartfelt nature to them of the importance of Paddington's message, the bear's honesty and kindness. And this has exactly the same ethos, and it really works. You have the uh, open hearted charm of Chalamet's Wonka that wins over almost everyone around him, even the cynical Oompa Loompa played by Hugh Grant. And that's countered by the three chocolate magnates led by Paterson Joseph Slugworth. Again, a thrill to see Paterson Joseph in a major movie when I know he's such a great talented actor. The songs by Hannon are, to the surprise of no one, absolutely fantastic. Neil Hannon and his work with the Divine Comedy stretches back over 3 decades. He's my favourite music act. I think he's a genius. I'm absolutely thrilled that this is finally being recognised by the rest of the world because I've known this since the early 90s. Um, and it's a very it's a lovable film and it's a loving film, I think. It's like a hug. It's the perfect film, I think, for Christmas. It's the perfect film, I think, for troubled times because it shows that there is goodness and kindness and honesty and love in the world. I think it's interesting that Wonka himself doesn't have a love interest. There's a platonic friendship he has with one of the other characters, which becomes the driving force of the movie. But because there is an age difference, but it never becomes romantic in any way. Wonka is not interested in such things as far as we can tell. There is romance elsewhere in the movie, quite a lot of it, but the character, I think, is very much in tune with the way that Gene Wilder portrayed him. This is absolutely a prequel to the Gene Wilder film rather than the book itself, to the extent that it concludes with a rendition of that film's signature song, Pure Imagination. And it ties the two together, I think, really beautifully. The original is a masterpiece. It's something that sort of almost fell together by chance, funded by Quaker Oats, directed by a documentary filmmaker, and starring an actor who I don't think had ever done a musical before. Here, We also have an actor who's never done a musical before. In Chalamet, he's terrific. The film is wonderful. It's a genuine treat for the whole family, and I absolutely loved it, and so will you.